This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Gianna, and today we have the opportunity of talking to Brian White. Thank you so much for joining us.
You are welcome, Gianna. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So I guess the best place to start is the beginning. So who are you, Brian? Where are you from? How did you grow up to be a real estate agent?
That's awesome. So I'm in Dallas. I'm in the northwest suburbs of Dallas. People may know an area called Flower Mound, just north of Dallas Fort Worth Airport. You know, I got to be a real estate. I spent 20 years in corporate sales. So I was a sales director at technology companies you guys might know called like Dell and Lenovo.
Sure.
And yeah, you may have heard of those. So and was traveling the country. So I had large sales teams. We were calling on big businesses and selling kind of data center gear. Mm-hmm. And I was traveling all the time. I was traveling 3-4 days a week, every week. My wife had gotten started in real estate. So we've got a real estate team, and she had gotten started about a year in advance, and she's looking around going, hey, I think we could do this together. So she actually recruited me out of a stable job with benefits and salary and all that to totally eat what you kill, get into our own business. And and I'm glad she did, because it's been an amazing ride for us the last 7 years or so.
Oh, awesome. That's great, Brian. So, you got recruited into the business. Was EXP your first brokerage, or how did you, get introduced to EXP? What that process look like for you?
You know what? So it wasn't. And she had gotten recruited to another brokerage and started on a team, quickly realized that a team model was not going to be right for her. So she bounced out, started doing her own thing. I joined her without doing any research. Okay, that's the thing you're already doing. So let's just continue doing that. And we were happy, right? I was on the leadership council in our local office. We were contributing and doing training and all of that sort of thing. And, I would say I'm not very smart. I was making database calls, and I kept calling a particular guy in my database, somebody I knew from Dell. And the third time, first time he said, hey, you should talk to my wife. She's an agent at EXP. I called him back the second time. Hey, dummy, his wife is an agent. You're not going to get any business from him. Whatever. I kept calling him. Finally, the third time, he said, you really should talk to my wife. And I did. And, it turns out his wife is a lady named Elizabeth Riley. She's one of the first and one of the biggest influencers in the company. Mm-hmm. And first time I had a conversation with her, I couldn't unsee it. She's brilliant. The company is brilliant. And the model that Glenn Sanford created is just spectacular. So I was thankful for that, and we joined shortly after.
Absolutely. I get the opportunity to interview Elizabeth next Monday. I hope she doesn't cancel on me. I'm so excited, and I know a lot of people are excited.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She really is amazing and generous and sweet, and just she's a difference maker for sure.
Absolutely. And Brian, now that you're over here at EXP and you're really killing the game, getting to see all the benefits that it has to offer, what's your favorite part about EXP? Why do you stay? Stock options, collaboration, rev share. What's your why? Why is EXP your home?
So yes, please. I'll say all of the above. My favorite part about it may be different than the reason why I stay. My favorite part about it is the collaboration, right? So culturally, my wife, when we made our change, my wife was mad. She was mad at me because she was plugged in culturally and liked where we were.
Sure.
And what we've found is so amazing. We've got friends in in Orlando and in Austin and in Chicago and San Diego and all across the
Mm.
country. And we collaborate, we share ideas, and we're jumping into conversations on a regular basis. And you know what? Those relationships have turned into cold hard cash because we've got this national referral network. We're one brokerage nationally.
Mhm.
And through tools like Workplace, it's really, really easy to find agents, to refer business. It's really easy to grab referrals from other people. And it's really easy to vet an agent
Sure.
to make sure that they're talented, that they do a lot of business, that there's somebody who's going to take great care of, of referrals that you send their way. So that's maybe my favorite thing, the collaborative, non-competitive way that everybody gives away everything.
Mhm.
The thing that makes me stay is are the fringe benefits. All right. So we sell a decent amount of real estate, but all of the other things that make it sticky, the stock, we're already selling, we're continuing to do the same things that we always did,
Yeah.
but we're coming up on our fifth time as an icon, and financially that's not a bad deal. Right. I mean, it is game changing for our family, and it's spectacular.
Absolutely. I love that, Brian. And game changing. It's a trailblazer EXP compared to other brokerages. And you've got a family, friends, everything that comes with the joys of life. And you're also in an industry that could swallow you whole if you let it, right? Taking calls at any time of the day, any day of the week. So where do you draw the line, Brian? How do you practice work-life balance and set those boundaries for yourself? If you set
Well,
boundaries for yourself.
no, I totally do. So, I think we've all got to have leverage.
Mhm.
And I got into the business. I mean, I literally hired an assistant my first month in the business. I mean, we left a big salary to start our own thing, and we said, you know what, we got to have an assistant to do a lot of things. So, you've really got to stop and think, okay, what are my standards? When will I work? When am I not going to work? What is my do not do list? And start working on that. So you guys have helped us with that. We, there may be some questions about Sphere Rocket, but we actually have 3 virtual assistants with Sphere Rocket to help us with our marketing and help us with building our systems. We could talk more about that. We also have agents on our team that work with buyers, so we can continue to scale and give back. So that's an opportunity for us to give back and develop others. It's also an opportunity for us to, frankly, to scale. Right? We don't just want to trade time for money. We want to build a business,
Sure.
so we can go on vacation, and so we can draw those lines that you talked about.
Absolutely, Brian. And it's important, you want to avoid burnout mode because it takes like up to 2 years to recover from that burnout mode. So that's kind of scary in such a industry where, your money depends on how hard you want to work. So, Brian, let's talk a little more about production right now.
Yeah.
So in your market, you're in Texas.
Yep.
What does that average housing price look like for you? What market are you focused in, and about how many houses does it take for you to sell to be able to cap?
Yeah. So our average deal is close to 700K.
Okay.
So the median in Dallas Fort Worth is 400.
Mm.
Our market in the areas that we work, the price is a little higher than that. So for us, it takes 4 deals to cap.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. This year we capped in 28 days. February is our anniversary date. So we capped from February 1st to February 28th.
In 28 days. Holy smokes. So Brian, it's more than just production that comes with this. And, you've got 11 other months from capping, to focus on those transactions needed, but also, you've got to take a step back and fulfill your cultural commitment. So, whether you are a mentor, a teacher, vetting other icons, there's some way that you need to fulfill that. So which avenue do you choose and why?
Yeah. So we teach a class called Giving Your Way to Growth. So we have a sphere of influence based business. We're we follow the motto of our church. We are Jesus focused, spirit filled, and life giving. So the way they approach the world is, how can we give back and how can we teach others to do that? So our business model is generosity based.
Mhm.
Our mission statement is give, serve, love. So we teach classes. I mean, that's what we teach, right? We teach how can you live a life of service, right? How can you serve in, in Rotary, on charity boards, in various ways in your community to give back and get business from that without muddying the waters, right? You don't have to go
Mhm.
approaching people. Hey, can I sell your house? To live a life where people say, hey, you know what? I want to work with that guy. I like that guy. I want to maybe when I buy or sell, I'm going to use them. So we teach that, and it's called giving your way to growth. And we have a blast doing it.
That's awesome, Brian. Giving your way to growth. That's a good thing to remember, especially for those watching. Dig into that a little bit deeper. And Brian, for my final question, when it comes to you and iconing, it's going to be, what's your favorite part about it, right? So you get, it's easy to catch referrals as an icon agent. You're trusted. It's an elite status, top 3% of the company. It's an opportunity to earn your cap back in stock. Go to EXPCon, shareholders, a big glass shiny trophy that I see behind your left shoulder, I think.
Yes, that's totally right. Yep.
Well, Brian, what's your favorite part? What's your why? Why do you hold yourself to a standard of iconing every year?
Yeah, so I think the classes are my favorite part. The opportunity to give back. It is, it is a higher standard, and agents at the company look up to us,
Mhm.
and that's a gift and a responsibility. So our opportunity to give back and encourage others and develop others
Mhm.
into so they can get there. The financial benefit, you stay here over time, and it becomes life changing. When you get a gift and it multiplies many times over in the coming years, well, if you can help someone achieve that, you can make a real difference for people and their families. And I'm blessed to have that opportunity.
Oh, I love that. What a good answer, Brian.
Thank
And
you.
then, diving in a little deeper, maybe picking the mentorship side of your brain.
Yeah.
Say somebody approaches you and they're like, hey, Brian, I'm new to EXP, whether they are, a rookie in the industry or they've been in the game for a while, and they're talking to you and they're like, I would really like to try to icon my first year. What
Yeah.
does that process look like for them? Is it possible, or what are some major mistakes to avoid?
Yeah. So the mistake I would tell people to avoid, so I'll start with that, is the shiny object.
Mhm.
And the shiny object is there's a bazillion of them. And there are 75 different ways to lead gen.
Mhm.
There's 75 different ways to get leads, places to buy leads, all those different things. And you don't need to do that.
Mhm.
The thing we tell people to start with is make a list of at least 100 people and really dive in deep in terms of relationships with those people. Really pour into them. Make sure they know you're in business. All 100 of those people. So number one, those 100 people will be at least 10 deals. That's not enough to icon, but it's a start. It's more likely 14 to 15
Mhm.
deals. So go get those 15 low-hanging fruit deals.
Sure.
But all 100 of those people know 100 people. All
Mhm.
100 of those people know someone, at least one person who's moving. So if you go work those 100, you have access to 114 deals at least. And in most markets, you only need 25 or 30 to hit icons. So you absolutely can do that just by working those. And they're free, right? You don't have to go spend a lot of money doing that. That's a relationship play. Just go have conversations with people that already know, like, and trust you.
I love that. I'm going to write that down. And sorry, Brian, I just like to quote my icons on quality content that they provide. And
Sure.
my next question is, were you ever skeptical of EXP when it was introduced to you?
So I was skeptical of it before, for sure. What's interesting is some of what piqued my interest is I was at another company, and that company kept talking about how we weren't legit.
Yeah.
That company kept talking about how it was a Ponzi scheme or it was something else.
Pyramid
And
scheme, a cult.
yeah, right. So when somebody else is talking about it, when somebody else is trying to bring you down,
Mhm.
then it's like, why are they afraid?
Why are they throwing
And
rocks
because
at things that shine?
that's totally right. So
Mhm.
then it makes you think, okay, maybe I should, at a minimum, I should understand why other people think it's not legit. And then you do a little more research and figure out it is. So it was a risk. we joined 4.5 years ago. So it was a risk at the time, but it was a calculated one. Mm-hmm. And if it failed, then I could certainly come back. That's true of people now. So we've got 83,000 people. So it's no longer a risk, but it's still, if it's not a fit for you, then you could always go back. So I would encourage people to, if you have, if you have any interest, if it's piqued your interest at all, then jump in, because you can always change, but the upside is so much greater. The opportunity is so much greater than the risk of downside that you really have to try, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, like you said, with great risk comes great reward, Brian. So kind of following on that topic, it's my last question. What would you say to somebody that's skeptical of EXP, or even go back in time to, your old self to get you to make that move sooner? Because obviously you probably would have built up a few more stock options and this and that. So what would you have said to yourself to either nip you in the butt to get here faster, or to somebody watching right now that sees the greener grass, but they're nervous?
Well, I would tell people to really, really explore it. Like, talk to people. Now there are 83,000 people at the company. So have some conversations with real people to dive in. And if you talk to enough people, if there were rocks to throw, eventually you would find them.
Yeah.
And we're happy, right? Our NPS scores are happy. People are staying, and they're staying because it's legit. So really, really do the research. I would challenge you to do as much research as you possibly can, because the more research you do, the more you're going to fall in love, and the more you're going to realize it's actually better than the promise.
Right.
It's not, the promise is legit, and it ends up being better than the promise.
And do your research, lean into those that are already here, listen to more icon agents and everything else you can do to get more involved, and go to the source. You don't want to be asking your brokerage about EXP, because of course they don't want you to leave. Think about how much money you're giving them every year. Ask if you can get that money back in any way, shape, or form, because they're going to laugh at you. When here you have the opportunity to earn that back in stock, so it can absolutely multiply. So in the end, it's even better. Brian, are you going to be at EXPCon?
I have never missed one. So
Okay.
I've missed. I made it to all of the shareholders, all of the EXP cons. Our events are phenomenal, and they're phenomenal. The content is good. The content's great, but the opportunity to spend time with the people is where the real magic is, and that's the part that I enjoy most.
Oh, I love that. Brian, anything that you want to leave the listeners with as we wrap up today? We're approaching almost 18 minutes here.
You know what? The thing I would leave you with is, my coach, we were having a conversation yesterday, and it was one of the questions he asked is, anything you do, how does it impact my most valued relationships? Mm-hmm. And what I would say is, real estate is a relationship business. And the more you pour into people, the more you give, the more you, I used to say that real estate is a contact sport. Now I say it's an impact sport. The more you can make an impact and a difference in other people's lives, the more joy you will have, and the bigger your business will be. You'll have abundance beyond your wildest dreams. So pour into people, really lean in and make a difference, and it'll change your life.
Awesome. I love that, Brian. Lean in, use your resources. If you guys have questions about EXP, feel free to reach out to Brian and his wife and the team, and, ask questions, get to know them, see if they're a good fit to be your sponsor or mentor or whatever. All the options are here at EXP to, make connections. And Brian, thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you in Vegas.
Gianna, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whissel, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at SpearRocketVA.com and find out how we can make your life easier.